Hello everybody, how is it going? My name's Robert. How are you guys doing today? Man, I'm getting my voice back finally, and it still sounds kind of funky. But what are we talking about here? Well, first of all, if you want to skip me talking, you can do that right here. Get right to the riffs and stuff, because we're talking about 5 simple riffs that sound powerful. They just have a lot of attitude to them, but you know, it's the delivery of the note, the actual notes you're using, and stuff like that. That can really add a lot to these, you know, licks that really aren't that difficult. The ideas are very simple behind them, and it's all about your note choice and, like I said, your delivery. So a lot of it comes from your phrasing and the articulation that you have and stuff like that. But we're gonna jump on in this one now. If you dig what's going on here, I have a lesson pack pentatonic roadmap, which is kind of based off of, you know, expanding pentatonic ideas. You could check that out and get tabs for this lesson over on my website. Let's go on ahead out of here. Alright, so let's jump on in this one. So the first one you heard is just basic pentatonic lick. You've probably heard a million times in your favorite rock solos. But we added a little bit of a spin on it with that overbend at the end, and to me that gives it way more attitude. Just makes it sound more powerful, which is what we're going after here. So the lick real slow is... That's probably about a step and a half. No, I guess I'm doing a 2.5 step bend there. So that's a kind of dangerous string breaking territory and knock your guitar out of tune territory. But basically I'm just going this, it's all out of E minor pentatonic. So I'm bending up 15 on the B up a full step. Then I go to 12 on the high. And then I go back to the B string and it's 15, pull off 12. So now just repeating that lick by itself I think has, you know, tons of attitude and lots of like oomph too when you're playing over something. So again, it's now the secret is on the 4th time around you're gonna do a big old overbend. So you grab that 15 that we were before just bending up a full step, and like I said, I'm doing like a 2.5 step. You know, you're bending all the way up here to the 20th fret, so you're bending 15 up to 20. And it gives it way more, it's like a note you're not expecting. You're expecting the lick just to kind of continue. And I do another one of these bends in one of the other licks, and it's just such a cool way. It's kind of like doing like a pinch harmonic when you're just doing like a lick. It gives you that big jump of notes, and I love that sound. So that's lick number 1. Now lick number 2, I believe this was number 2, is this kind of chromatic, bendy, pentatonic lick. And I always love chromatic stuff. I think it has so much, like, just cool factor to it. So I'm bending up 19 a full step. Oh, I guess I'm doing a 1.5 bend. Didn't even realize it. Then I go back to an unbent 19. Then I go to 18, 17, 16, 15. So now I go to 17 on the B, which is actually our root note. This is out of E. But what I do is I bend it up. It's like a Jimmy Page thing. So that's another 2-step bend. So very bendy. You know, I find bends have a lot of energy to them. You know, if you throw a perfect bend in there, it can have so much like power. So we have. Now notice how I'm picking that though. I'm not going. I'm picking it and I let my pick touch the string, so it's getting real short, choppy notes. That's, you know, that adds a lot too. That's what I'm talking about before. It's your phrasing, stuff like that. That's gonna really, you know, determine the outcome of these licks. Lick number 3, much more complicated, but at the end of the day, not bad. I'm actually basing this off of a very common pentatonic lick. Now what I did was, instead of doing that, which I think sounds great, I love that lick, I chose a little bit more metal, dark sounding scale. So I'm doing like harmonic minor is how I'm viewing this. I guess if you add the right note, you could do like Hungarian minor if you wanted to. But, like I said, so what I'm seeing it is as this, is like a E harmonic minor. So basically the pattern is very simple. It's just 12 on the high E string, then I go 13 to 12 on the B, which is a pull-off. Then I go to 14 on the G, and I go back to the B string, and it's 12 hammer on 13. So we have this. Now, my picking is probably what complicates it a little bit. You could alternate pick it, and you would be totally fine, because luckily that pull-off gives us extra time. I'm doing like a little sweep, so I start on an up, I go up, up. Then I go down, down. So I end up having 2 ups and 2 downs. Now, when I do that little ending part, so I do it 3 times in a row. Now, sorry, 4 times in a row. And then I add a little fill here, so. Now, on the 5th time, I go, okay, and then I add a little double here. I go 12 hammer on 13 twice. Now, the only thing I do to change it is I alter 1 note. I drop that E back to that D sharp. So I'm going to go 11 on the high string now, and then 12 pull off, 13 pull off 12, 14, 12 hammer on 13, back to 11. Like I said, you could alternate pick. I end up doing it both. Who knows? My hand just kind of does what it wants. But together, I think that lick sounds very powerful. And then, so a lot you can learn from that one. You know, note choice is very key in that one. Alright! I think I sound like a jerk with my voice kind of being messed up. It's like extra low. I sound like a jerk, and this is how you play the lick. But I assure you, no, actually, I probably am a jerk. But my voice normally doesn't sound this way. So, anyways, now the other one we did was octaves. I love octaves. You know, I do it all the time in my lessons, whether it's a lick, whatever it might be. So what I chose this time is something that we tend to use more as like a rhythm kind of tool. Maybe like, you know, we play the octaves together at the same time. But what I want to do is we're going to kind of separate them. We're going to go. At least I think that's the lick I played. I'm going totally brain dead right now. I think this is the lick that I played. My paper's not here. So we're just gonna, we're just hoping with it. That's what we're doing. Lots of key stuff happening here. The way I'm picking it, and the slides that are involved in this, and like the phrasing of the note. So I'm sliding into 12 on the G, then I go to 13 on, or 15 on the B. Then I go back to 12, then back to 15. And I slide down to 14. So. Okay, then I'm going to go to 11, then same thing, then 14, 11, 14, slide down to 12, 9 on the G, 9, 12, 9, 12, 11, so we're doing that harmonic minor vibe again, and I do it again, but now I'm going to us in. Now, here's how I look at this. I kind of get the position of my hand for this octave. And instead of looking at 2 strings, I just kind of like let my fingers stay in this position, and I follow 1 string down the scale. So I'm pretty much looking at the high E string. I'm going, oh, sorry. And I just kind of let this hand stay in its position. And then you can really slide it around, because I'm not trying to watch 2 strings at the same time now. As long as this hand is staying relatively in the same spot, it should be the right note, because it's an octave. Now, I'm going like this. This note isn't up, and I feel like an up has more of a pop to it, like the bloom to the note. And I'm muting the G. So every time you hear that, that's a mute, and that's an up. So you get a very like sharp attack on the up, and a nice muted palm mute, a more like bassy kind of like low note. So the final lick here is all based out of our good old A minor pentatonic scale, box 1. Now what I'm doing here is I start off with a big old bend on 8 on the B, a full step. Add that kind of like wider vibrato. Now I do this, I go, so. Now what I'm doing is I'm doing a bunch of double stops, but it kind of gives you a harmony. So I'm going, so I go to 7 on the G and B, then 5 on the G, B. Then I go to 7 on the D and G. So then I go back to the G and B again. So I go. Then I'm going to move up to the D and G. And I go 7 to 5, then 7 to 5 on the A and D. So, okay, and I repeat the same thing again, starting on the D and G. I know this all sounds confusing. Definitely reference the tabs. So I'm gonna go D and G. Okay, so then I go. Now I add a little slide there at the end, so I go. Instead of going up here to get the note like that, which is now kind of an awkward hand position for us now because we're not just using one finger, I get a similar kind of thing down here. If you want the exact one, you would have to go like that, but alrighty guys, thank you all so much for tuning in today. Hope you enjoyed that. Sorry you get the weirdo voice, but we're just gonna roll with it. And other than that, like I said, get your tabs over on my website. Check out the lesson packs, stuff like that, if you dug the licks. And other than that, I'm going to be seeing you guys on Friday. I will see you on Friday. No lie. I'm for real. I'll see you on Friday. But while I'm gone, while I'm not here, there's 2 videos. I don't know why I have to do this every video. There's 2 videos right here. Serious face. 2 videos right here. And a subscribe button. I bet you didn't know that was there. I bet you've never seen that before. But it's there now. Assuming I remember to put it in after I upload the video. But if I did, there's definitely 2 videos here and a subscribe button. Later guys, have a great rest of the day. Peace out.